Hi guys, thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to do a video. I'm gonna make this a little bit brighter so you can see me. Is that good? I think that's a little too bright actually. That's perfect. I wanted to do a video on soul retrievals, something that has been happening to me lately. And I feel like it's not the first time this has happened, but I feel like it's been very intense for me these past couple of weeks, following a lot of work that I've been doing that I want to offer to you guys at one point after I've tested everything out on myself. But I have been doing a lot of work on retrieving soul fragments. So a lot of you guys probably don't know what a soul fragment is. When we are in times of our life that are traumatic, or not always traumatic, but sometimes when we are in places that have a big effect on us. And that doesn't mean that it's only included in this life. This could be past lives as well. It also includes like astral travel as well. We tend to lose soul fragments in those parts of our lives. So I remember when I was in school to become a therapist, they used to teach us about how like children, there's certain tiers of emotional development in children. And when kids are traumatized from a young age, I think from the ages of 7 and below, their reaction is similar to, and I'm talking about emotionally, they have an emotional reaction that is very unempathetic. Not always, but in children around the ages of 7, I think 7 to 10, their emotional maturity is not developed yet. So when a child is traumatized in that time period, as an adult, they stay within that emotional immaturity. I say this with a lot of my clients too. Like when you guys message me and you have readings, and you want to do a reading on your husband or your boyfriend, whatever. I feel like I've mentioned this to a good few of my clients throughout the years, that there's an emotional block between their partners because their emotional maturity hasn't exceeded past middle school. It's at middle school ages. Yeah, so this isn't the first time I'm bringing this up, and this isn't me just speaking like from a spiritual perspective. This is also like, doctors have come up with this analogy as well. Anyway, this kind of goes hand in hand with soul fragments. Soul fragments can get lost in tumultuous times, and not all of us ever really get to retrieve them back. I feel like for me, I had a lot of soul fragments that were stuck in past lives, and because of that, it was really hard for me to be a sovereign person, because I always felt like there was parts of myself that were missing, and I would run into relationships with people, especially people that I've already been in relationships with, and it didn't work out. Trying to find some familiarity. Since I've been doing this work, I haven't really noticed myself like going back to those people. Like I've actually been noticing the opposite, that I have been like pretty okay with letting them live their life and not worrying about it. So I, would say that it has made me a more sovereign person. However, soul retrievals, especially if you're doing them alone and you're not with somebody who specializes in it, it can be very wacky. It can feel like a whole other spiritual awakening. For me, I would basically go in and out of consciousness trying to retrieve soul fragments while I was driving or doing something where I guess my brain was like in theta, or whatever it's on when you're driving. I noticed that for the most part, a lot of this would happen while I was driving, which is very scary, and I've had to like pull over a couple of times, or not always driving, but like in the middle of the night, like I've been waking up, and it's a very bad anxiety attack, and then it's followed by a lot of peace and a different attitude, and like I said, more sovereignty to come with it. So while I was basically unconscious, or it kind of feels like you're seeing things physically, but there's a blank slate in front of your head. And I think one of the most vivid times this has ever happened to me is when I was picking out classes for my graduate school. It was before the first day of school, and I was just meeting my professors, and I blacked out, and I had to go into the bathroom and like try and gain some type of consciousness. But yeah, I think I was wearing a huge moldavite necklace that I like paid a lot of money for, and I had to get rid of it because of that experience. But yeah, I remember that is when that happened, the first time that I could remember. Recently, it's been happening more often. If you guys see the light going on and off, it's just like the camera turns on if like literally anybody walks by. But anyway, getting back to retrieving soul fragments, it's not something that happens once and then that's it. Like for me, I've had a lot of past lives. I'm a very old soul. I've been doing spiritual work for many lives. So there were a lot more for me to, there was a lot of spiritual maintenance that I had to go through and have to still go through in order to feel peace and in order to feel at whole within just myself. So I can't really give you an answer on if this is something that, you know, may affect you your whole life if you choose to really do that type of work and retain soul fragments and go get soul fragments back from this life and also past lives. It could be way more simple than me, or it could be way more complicated. It really just depends on who you are. This work is probably better done with a trusted professional, and I say the word trusted with an emphasis on the word trusted because there are a lot of people that do this that, you know, I've just noticed in the spiritual community itself, a lot of people do this work and they're not really experienced, and they're not really giving you the best advice. At least that's just what I've noticed. And the people that I have found that do a really good job at this, they're few and far between. But anyway, this was all basically a part of a spiritual work that I've been doing on myself for the past couple of weeks. And it's definitely brought me into more alignment. I feel like a lot of people would consider going back and getting soul fragments a part of shadow work. However, I don't exactly think it's that scary. I mean, it's not comfortable, but I feel like the word shadow work is just, it kind of has like a negative connotation. Like I said, I never do these chatty videos because I hate talking for like so long, you know? But yeah, that's my story with retrieving soul fragments. I definitely feel like I have stepped into a better part of myself, and I'm able to do more to help other people since stepping into that part. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you guys would like to book a consultation or email me about my services, everything will be in the link below.